Every year since the foundation has opened, I have applied for a grant, and I have been fortunate to receive a grant every year. I think the most important thing that I've learned over the years is the people that are on the committee are not teachers. They're not inside the classroom like I am or like anybody applying. So I think you need to be very detailed and paint a picture. So if you're asking to go on a field trip, really go into detail, how is this going to benefit the children in your classroom? Because for us, it's, I say, oh, I need to order some books to another teacher. That teacher understands why you need the books, but this person that's reading it necessarily doesn't see how you're going to use the books or why are they so important for your kids to have that. So I think just overall just being very detailed and painting that picture, and so as they're reading it, they're going to see, they can see your classroom, they can see your kids going on that field trip, they can see your kids using that resource, and that alone will allow them to be in there and to see everything that you're wanting. Most of the grants I write, I like to try to reach as many kids as I can, so I'll either do it for the whole grade level, so maybe going on a field trip, or I'll do things for the whole campus, like having Magic Theater come to the school, or I've had Dinosaur George come to the school. Those are my favorite ones. I try to see how can I reach the most students at my campus or my grade level. Learning doesn't just happen in the classroom. Like I said, I like to go on field trips, so that's taking learning beyond the classroom. Or say there's a resource, something that you don't have, a particular item that the school hasn't purchased yet for you, but you want to apply for a grant, and that's going to elaborate the learning. It's going to take it even farther than just the baseline. It's going to go beyond and really make that deeper connection. And those deeper connections, whether it's going on a field trip or bringing an experience or that one unique item that you don't have yet in your classroom that you want to purchase, could change, change that child's path. Their learning really goes deeper. So if you're going to go on a field trip, you need to find out how much the buses are going to be, how much it's going to cost to take however many students that you have. And I always add on, so say we had 100 kindergartners, I would add on 5 extra because as you know, the year goes on, you might add more students, and so you want to make sure you have enough money. If it's a resource for one of the vendors, make sure to check that is a vendor that the district uses, and then you could get the price and maybe check on shipping and all of that information. Just be very detailed. I would talk to my school secretary. She was the main person that would help me with the buses. If I needed buses, she would find out from transportation how much it would cost, or if it was a vendor, she would let me know, oh yes, they're a vendor, and then from there, I would just go from there. When I've done it for the whole campus, I would always check with my admin just to make sure they're okay with, say, Dinosaur George coming if I would get that grant. So just making sure it's a team effort, because your team can definitely help you. Even if you were just writing it for your team, they can definitely help you find other information and definitely read it over for you. It takes a little bit of time. If you know exactly what you want, then you know where that vendor is. You can go research that real quick. If you've already talked to your team about a field trip, or you talked to your admin about an experience coming to the campus, then you're kind of already doing the research. And then once you sit down, it does take a little time. I feel like I'm kind of quick now just because I've been doing it for multiple years, but in the beginning I would take my time and I would just do a few questions at a time. And one thing that I do is because it's kind of hard to fill it out, I would always write it on a Google Doc first, and then I would copy it and paste it in there. So if I needed to make edits, it was easier to see on the Google Doc, and then I would have it saved for years past. So that way, if I needed to go reference, 5 years ago I wrote a grant for this field trip, let me go see what I wrote, and I can kind of tweak that. So it kind of just gives you that house of information, so that way each year you can continue to try to receive a grant from the foundation. For a first-year teacher, I would say definitely talk to your team. Maybe somebody on your team has applied for a grant over the years, maybe they've received a grant. They could definitely help you. You can always try. It's always no unless you try. So if there's something that you really want, write the grant for it. If you get it, you're going to give that experience to your classroom, and that knowledge is just going to continue to build with your students with that resource.